Let's talk about Max McCoy's third Indiana Jones novel, and also novel number 11 overall, which means we are almost done with the Bantam era of the 1990s. Indiana Jones and the Hollow Earth. I had pretty big expectations based on the previous two books by Max McCoy, which I really goddamn enjoyed. And Hollow Earth is good. It's pretty good, yes. It's not as good as the previous two, in my opinion. Or, not a spoiler, but just so you know, at the time of this recording, I've already finished reading the fourth book, Secret of the Sphinx, which means I'm done. So yeah, I'm gonna compare it a little bit. Because it's something we have to make clear right off the bat. This book is good, but there is a clear difference between it and the other three McCoy books, which are Philosopher's Stone, Dinosaur Eggs, and Secret of the Sphinx, which is, those other books get to the point immediately. Like, it doesn't feel like there is much setup, so to speak. They are pretty straightforward with the adventure, and this book, The Hollow Earth, takes its time a little bit more. And what makes it so different? It has actually two main plots that kind of, at first, I wasn't sure how they are gonna connect, but they do at the end. But you gotta wait a bit until that happens. And so, a large portion of this novel was a bit confusing, in the sense that it just felt like a hodgepodge of different scenes and stuff that didn't really fit together at first. So let me explain this, without spoilers. A big portion of this is Indiana Jones going to New Mexico, searching for lost ancient gold, because he wants to buy the crystal skull that he has been searching for since book 1 in this Max McCoy series. So that's good, this element is brought back. He wants to buy it from Belloc. He needs gold, so he searches for it in New Mexico. Okay. There he encounters a woman who teams up with him, and he fights some weird native guy who gets quite a bit of setup, but is only in like a paragraph, so that was kind of weird. But that's the thing. That's a big thing. Indy is looking for the crystal skull again, and this is the end for that storyline. But that's not the main story. The main story that begins in chapter 1. Indy gets contacted by an old man who's hunted by the Nazis because this old scientist has found a secret place in Antarctica. And Indy has to go there and find this secret place, the Hollow Earth. Because they have like an element that can like heal people and grant invincibility and stuff. And so, it sounds simple enough. But you get both the Crystal Skull storyline, Indy going to New Mexico, wanting the skull, he's still thinking of his lady friend from Philosopher's Stone and the prologue of Dinosaur Eggs, who returns, by the way, in this book. This is also the end of her storyline, which is nice. But then the Antarctica plot just disappears for a bit. And that was so confusing to me. The way the story is structured, it's weird, because there's a lot of very nice like set pieces and moments. Like Indy searching for the gold. That's fun. But I don't know how that was supposed to tie into the main story, because the Crystal Skull storyline and the Antarctica storyline only come together in the end. Which, it's good, they do. That's fine, but I just wasn't clear what the main point was. And it just felt like a weird sidetrack. Same when he pays Belloc. He meets up with Belloc. We get another nice scene during a parade. That's nice stuff. And the two have a duel. Like an old-fashioned duel with guns. Which, again, it's fun. But it's kind of like, did this need to be in here? I don't know how this really, like, matters. Or connects to anything. This book is a little bit messy in that regard. Maybe on a reread, when I already know the direction, it would be more clear, like I can appreciate it more, but as it is right now, it's not as to the point as the other Max McCoy books. The Hollow Earth element, it just comes really short, in my opinion. There isn't as much done with it as I would have expected. What we get is nice, and there's some very nice supernatural element at the end. I'm not gonna spoil it, but there are guardians, so to speak, which pretty cool visuals. I imagined this in my head as like a movie with like stop motion effects. I think that would look perfect. So yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of how the story was told. I'm glad the Crystal Skull storyline was wrapped up, because yeah, this is the wrap up of the Crystal Skull storyline. I was even more surprised Alicia comes back, which is Indy's female friend from Philosopher's Stone and stuff. And she gets an end to her story arc. We get the Nazis in here again. We get a pretty good main villain with a pretty gruesome, fun ending. So yeah, overall, Indiana Jones and the Hollow Earth, it's good. I do like it. But it has problems. I would say it's the weakest of the Max McCoy books. But overall, if you have enjoyed McCoy's other 2 books, you will like this one, and it wraps up the storyline. And it left me confused. If this was supposed to be like the end, like if this was conceived as a trilogy, because I have read Secret of the Sphinx by now. There are mentions and stuff of the Crystal Skull, but Hollow Earth does feel like it was supposed to be like the climax of McCoy's book run. So I'm confused if it was like, oh, he thought he was only there to write 3 books, but then they brought him back for a 4th one. I don't know. But yeah, here we are. So next time we're gonna talk about Max McCoy's last book, not just in his series, but in the Bantam era of the 1990s overall, which is gonna be Indiana Jones and the Secret of the Sphinx.